Sunrise and I'm lost on the dead sand. 40 days in the desert of your love. Sunrise and I'm lost on the dead sand. 40 days in the desert of your love. Golden crowns and diamond flowers, worthless now. I'd give my life for you, my love, for you, my love, for you. Sunlight beating down like a hammer. 40 days in the desert of your love. Sunlight beating down like a hammer. 40 days in the desert of your love. Golden crowns and diamond flowers, worthless now. I'd give my life for you, my love, for you, my love, for you. Sunset and the winds will turn cold. 40 days in the desert of your love. Sunset and the winds will turn cold. 40 days in the desert of your love. Golden crowns and diamond flowers, worthless now. I'd give my life, I'd give my life for you, my love, for you, my love, for you, my love, for you, my love, for you. So that was Desert of Your Love, which, if you've seen the teaser video for this episode, has changed possibly beyond recognition. The original chorus I had when I was coming up with the melody for the verse changed because I can't even remember what the original version was. I think it was la 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 la. And then I'd go up, but the melody seemed to want to continue on for a bit longer. So na 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 na. And so it sounded very, very Arabic to me. And the original chorus was more of a sort of post-punk sort of Teardrop Explodes sort of thing, or a 60s thing. And so I came up, I thought I've got to come up with another melody, but I can't be asked to come up with another set of chords, so I'll just come up with another melody using the same chords as the other version of the chorus. And I was just very lucky that and it's very difficult for me singing high, but one of the easier vowels is the U vowel, so the for you seemed to sort of be the best bet for a possible chorus line. And as a kid, I used to go to a fantastic institution, which was my local library, and in Primrose Hill. and that's where I discovered so much music. This was before internet, and you either, well, you listen to the radio, watch TV for music. You went and you bought records and tapes, or you went to your local library, and it was free. So it was a great way of discovering new music without really any risk. And I mean, I remember when I found, I discovered, I discovered Teardrop Explodes through the local library. They had a tape of Kilimanjaro, then Echo and the Bunnymen with Ocean Rain, and they had it on vinyl, and I used to take it out, and I think you could get it for 3 weeks. So I take it out, listen to it at home, looking at the record cover as you did, and I came to like that particular vinyl record that I didn't want to buy it, because often if I like stuff, I'd save up money and go and buy it. But with this particular one, I like the actual cracks and hisses were in sort of certain places in the record that I came to really like. And I didn't want to buy another version because it wouldn't be exactly the same. So I used to continually rent that album from my local library. But on one of these occasions, I was checking out Robert Palmer. And Robert Palmer, maybe not as well known now, but in the 80s had a big hit with Addicted to Love, which had a video that I appreciated a lot as a young man. And so I went to the local library, picked up his record, and I think it was that record with Addicted to Love on it. But the song that really stuck with me was a cover version of a song called Riptide. And it's just a wonderful melody. And at first I didn't realize it was a cover version, and I heard the original version, which was I think from the 1920s or 1930s. But it was the lyrics were very simple. Riptide, lost on a riptide, no, thinking of you, something like that. And it was clear that I couldn't get my head around the fact that riptide didn't sound like a good thing. I was born in London, so I'm not familiar with the sea, or I wasn't at that point. And so a riptide, I just thought, well, it can't be a good thing. And yet he's talking about love, and it feels like it's a love song, so I really couldn't make it out. I mean, I wasn't very good at metaphors in my teenage years, so I remember reading a critique of Peter Gabriel's what was the album? Was it Go, or did it have a name? It was the one with Sledgehammer, and it was talking about all the phallic imagery, and I was like, I couldn't see it at all at that time. But anyway, so in the back of my head, when I was coming up with this song, there was the Riptide. Please go and have a listen to it. It's a really nice song. Both the Robert Palmer, was it Robert Palmer? Is that his name? Palmer, and the original version. And it was just the idea of linking love with natural imagery, but not necessarily positive imagery. So the character in this song is obviously he's struggling. We imagine he's in. Well, it depends how you want to interpret it, of course. But first of all, the first layer of imagery is just sort of romantic love, and so we imagine his love isn't being reciprocated. So he's in the desert of this woman's love, or man's love, or whatever, of somebody's love, and it's not being reciprocated, and he realizes that. So this is it's sort of that feeling of torture you get when you're in love. And then 40 Days in the Desert was a line that sort of popped up again in my head. And of course, when you say that, then you're bringing in religious imagery. So you could interpret the song as religious reference to Jesus in the desert and the temptations of he faced. The sort of pre-chorus, the golden crowns and diamond flowers are worthless. Clearly it's whether you interpret the song as a romantic song or as a religious spiritual song. Clearly it's an anti-materialist song in the sense that the character in the song doesn't realizes that material things are worthless in the final analysis. And there you go. It's a very simple song. It just goes verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, and verse, pre-chorus, three times, basically three times. Usually I would try to have a breakdown or a middle eight or something, but in this case, the flow of the song, it just seemed to demand this type of structure. Of course, with a band, you might, I mean, I might decide to completely change the structure because of the fact that with a band you can vary so much the instrumentation, and you can make it sound so different that it might lead you to maybe have another section or a quieter section, or do something different. But as always, I think I always say this anyway, with just me and an acoustic guitar, this seemed the most natural flow for the song. And so it's been quite a little trek down memory lane in this episode. Obviously I'm getting nostalgic for my younger days. I do actually think that in some ways, I mean, obviously the internet is fantastic, gives you access to everything, but that in itself is a problem, as many YouTubers are finding out, that you can't congregate around things in the same way that you could have done in back when I was a lad. So you have access to everything, but you end up maybe stuck in a bubble. Well, this is one of the things, stuck in a sort of thought bubble. But also, you don't really appreciate. I think I love to find new music, but I tend to find it with there's a magazine called Uncut, which gives away a free CD every month. I tend to get that, and they always find spectacular bands, because there is a lot of great music out there at the moment, and hopefully one day I'll be making some of my own. So thank you very much. Bye bye.